Got a new leaf spring for it. And they're giving them away at a time.
You are now watching the 2023 season of Farming with Duffy Ag.
Welcome back to the channel. Now that it's daytime, next day, Hank is living it up. As we see, combine is at the home farm. Where we are at as far as combine in the home farm, corn's too wet. It is drying out, but it is too wet. We actually have pretty much perfect drying weather for the next few days. Well, probably next week, 2 weeks. I was worried about getting snow on that other farm, and we never got that snow, but it's off. Overall, that corn did well. It met my expectations. It met the goals. Home farm, I'm very excited to get into and actually be combining on the home farm. So we did a few passes, and then that opened it up. And the deer this morning were insane. We had 10 standing right there. So yeah, Robert, your game camera should have been going off all morning long, but combine needs a few little things on it. That exhaust manifold, we will see what our timing, or exhaust, the turbine exhaust housing, we'll see what our timing is and if we can swap that out. Otherwise, that's a winter project or spring project once we're done planting and stuff like that. So it's running. Combine's running really well. We got a tighten up belt on the that runs ahead, but that's it. As far as Quinn's truck here, which is very noticeable, a bunch of people have picked up that, hey, that's an old SRS truck. Yes, it is. So Ryan, who runs for SRS, was all excited to see it. Truck stands out pretty well. Hopefully, for the sake of Quinn and his day, breakdowns happen. No matter how much you work on things, how much you're prepared, stuff like this, it happens. It's just all part of it. And Quinn farms for himself, and he has some trucks, and they move quite a bit of material between, well, all ag products. That's really what it is. So last night, as he was leaving, as we see, the leaf spring actually went down underneath it. But that leaf spring's broken. So he was hoping that Peterbilt would have that because, well, very common parts, and he could swap that out. He is loaded right now, and it is less than ideal to even move. So he came off the hill back to the driveway here and is parked up, and hopefully I see him this morning and I can give him a hand and he can get back rolling, because as we know, things are less than ideal when you have breakdowns and you're sitting around. I did say maybe I should just hook the white truck on that, but I don't think the white truck would like that load. White truck is the OG truck. But alrighty, today, well, we got all sorts of things to do. We'll see what comes and what comes of it. Calves are out here enjoying the weather. It is beautiful out, but it is like 26 degrees out. So cleaned up. We're gonna get cold for a little bit, and then it's gonna get back into the 40s as a low. So kind of crazy weather for this year. Well, I'm okay with it as of right now. I'm just praying we don't get much snow before we finish harvesting. So let's well, I gotta feed them and check their water and everything else like that. We'll dive into today. We gotta get some projects done. First things first, I gotta take that fence down, which means, well, the calves are done grazing up there, and as we all know, we got this back pasture here that would be good for them to graze a little bit, get some feed off of it. The manure spreader, I gotta put that away under cover. So my plan is to get the calves into this back pasture, which means blocking off so they can't go into that barn. Should be done with the manure spreader for right now. Get that unhooked. And Robert's on his way. He went hunting this morning. He's on his way to give me a hand, and we'll see how far we can get. But if the cows can get in here, we'll be in a good place. That hay still has to move. I'm gonna give Brian a call. Somebody did say, why don't you haul the hay to Brian? Well, the white truck, as far as highway running, really isn't that great. And that Landau trailer is extremely heavy, so it makes it even less fun. There's Robert there. So he's still. He's all worked up. We'll let her warm up for a while. Did you get anything this morning? Dude, they were all right there.
I think I'm gonna sit right here this afternoon.
No.
Or right there.
You'd miss from over here. Okay, I'll let that warm up. They're all just hanging out right now. Shut this gate. They did a good job grazing down this pasture after I mowed it off. Kept them fed. Really, they get grain and minerals, and they've been eating. So they'll be glad to go in that back area. So, and at some point, like I said, that hay's got to leave. But we need more calves for next year is really the big thing. And don't shock myself, because that is never fun. Especially on camera, because you guys think it's funny. I laugh at it too. When it starts snowing, they'll just be locked into here. Well, in the barn or into here, but it's great for exercise. Right? You guys are wondering what I'm doing. Give me a minute, I'll hook you guys up with a new spot to hang out. And then from there, actually, we can shut the fence off from going up the hill. Let me remember before I go in, because we'll shut it off and then we'll unconnect it. Yeah, there's the jumper wire there. So if that comes off, then it shuts off going up the hill. And then there's one over here, which, what did we do here? Oh, it's connected right there through it. So maybe I'll just cut that and we'll put it back on, because there's no point in having this pasture electrified throughout the whole time, which ain't the end of the world. But alrighty, well, there we have that. So let me put the 46 away. Robert will come back in a little bit. He said he had to go do things with his missus. We put the 46 away and run some wires that are not going to be hot wires, but just enough so that they don't go into that barn and mess around with none of the stuff that's in there. And I'll be back in a sec. Comfortable. I gotta knock this down. How close are we to this bale? Oh, hey, we're there. Pretty close. Hay should be gone by the end of the week. Just talked to Brian. He said he found a trailer. He's gonna move it. So the calves are very unhappy that I closed that gate, so that I didn't have to play rodeo. But I got some nails. We got a hammer. We got a celebrity guest on their way too, which is good. We haven't seen in quite a while. We're gonna do some temporary stuff here, because like I said, the bales are gonna be moving in a few days, but we just need to make sure that the calves don't just want to come in the back and make a mess of everything that we got, of our mess that we have already, or mess with every single bale. Maybe that'll deter him. He thinks he's missing out. Where you been? You weren't helping me, you left me. I already got that up, which means we gotta throw the door so they can't get in there, shut the gates, and then let them go party. I'll go put my supplies away. And easy enough. They're good. They're really good. So got a good group of calves there. There's trash in here. Oh, from when we were blowing silo. The only thing we do have to do with this tractor is sweep it out. Probably should put some fuel in it. The fuel does have kerosene in it for the winter heat. But the idea is this is going to go in the shop. So the Mac project should get wrapped up sooner than later here. And then that would put us in a good place where the Mac will be out of the shop. Well, the green one will be out. Somebody did ask, and by the end of the day, we should have all this cleaned up too. Cut a hole in that. Got a lot to do today, and tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day. But somebody did ask, why am I not switching the motor if I'm that far along on it? Just doesn't make any sense at this moment, because that motor that is in the truck is actually, it's closely set. If it had jakes, well, we'd probably rob the jakes off it, but we gotta source our set of jakes. I know where they are, I just haven't pulled the trigger. I forget what he wants, 1,500 or something. I'll get a hold of you at some point this winter, because I actually got to go to Pennsylvania due to upgrades to the 46 for planting for next year. So we already put our name on something, and yeah, threw that board up. This was just sitting in here. We punched it out when we started working. What we really need to do is put a door here. Joel, I know you've offered to help me on that one. I might take you up on that. But after today, I'm hoping I got a better game plan. Everything else should be good to go for them, so we can open this gate up. I shut the big gates over there. They shouldn't mess with too much stuff, but it will be nice. My plan is, once these bales are out, which we could move them right now, could put them in there, but they should be gone by this week. The calves will start staying in here instead of that little room. Makes it a lot better. So we'll have to get some water over to here, which we got the big tub. Probably put a heater in it, call it good. And then we will see if we end up with more animals or what our plan is. The more animals is what I'm thinking, but I'm up in the air. I got some hesitations on some things, so they're really not sure, because usually I don't hurt them to do anything. Right? But the gate's open so you guys can leave. Well, not leave, but go out there. Come on. There they go. Yanko. Yeah, you're not helping me, Yanko. What are you doing? Come on. Let them be, though. They're being good. So now they got quite a bit of playground. At some point, it's going to snow. And ideally for next year, we should have this side fenced in, and that will allow us for them to graze in there. Do a fence line down along the bottom, and that should give me enough pasture for what I'm doing right now. And we're not going to farm any of it. I don't know, we could farm this bottom half, but it gets real steep when it comes over that hill. Above that, it's okay. So if I'd known that, I probably would have left a little bit more, and then it levels out. But they should be very happy. So alrighty, on to the next things, right? Well, Quinn is back with his guy, and Yanko's got a big stick, so he's barking at it. But he's got a new leaf spring for it. Can you stop? Got a new leaf spring for it. And they're giving them away at $1,000 a piece. So 2 bolts go through the front and the bushing, and then you got your leaf. It goes over the axle, goes down the other side, and then the airbag holds it on that side. So that's your ride side of it. So you gotta get all the bolts out, and then you gotta get the leaf out, and then you gotta put them in, and then you got your 2 U-bolts that hold it to the axle itself. So a lot of things. So 2 bolts go through the bushing, like I said. There's the spacer. There's the broken piece. You've got to take the air out of the bag, disconnect the bag. I don't know if it actually sits on that. I think it just sits there. It's a plate. I'll show you here. So there ain't much underneath it, that other spring. So that would have broke just about here. And that is what it is. Oh yeah, there's 1 bolt that goes through, and there's your U-bolts. U-bolts didn't want to come, so got the fire wrench out. That'll solve it all. What are you doing, bud? You done playing with that stick? You just wanted to show off to everybody that you had a big log.
Oh, I can't get into them.
Yeah, you got to go in towards the outside of the truck more. Could just weld it back together, right?
I think my rear end's leaking up there. A little dab of oil there.
Cut some of the U-bolts off, and they were so rusted in that they didn't even slide out. Just the nature of running in New England. You know, if you ran down south, you wouldn't have this issue.
Nice,
right?
I didn't know what I broke yesterday. I didn't even move.
I'm glad it
I
wasn't.
almost let off the clutch and bam! I'm like, what the?
I'm glad it wasn't what I thought it was. Because that would have been less fun.
Like I said, I didn't even move though. Like I said, I was just about off on the clutch all the way. Yep. Wham! I'm like, oh, that's not good. I'm gonna tip it.
Yep, got it. Okay.
Watch your fucking fingers, because I ain't got much stuff.
Yep.
So lift your end up.
Yep.
Motherfucker. Hold on one second. Let me
Yep.
see if I can get a better spot to. Can you go towards you or not?
Yep. Yep.
Now lift your end.
Alright.
Okay. Ooh, now we're getting closer.
Yep.
Can you come towards me? Alright, I'm gonna lift up the front, you lift up the back.
Okay.
Just straight up. Hopefully. This is my plan. Is that as high as you can go?
Nope. I'm just gonna get the airbag out of the way. Alright.
Yeah.
What do you need?
Go towards your airbag.
Okay.
Perfect. That started. I think we'll be better off if we start bolts here.
Yep.
And then we'll get everything. Let's just use. We got new bolts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went into the shop for a second. Heard a big bang. Airbag blew out. Quinn almost lost a finger. Not be good. That was eventful. It actually went halfway smooth, and then yeah, airbag blew out, and yeah, so they are headed back to get the airbag because nobody has one around. That is kind of one of the things out here. Yeah, you got to know the right people, places and stuff like that, but back where I used to live, you could get a lot of things, and he lives eastern where there's, well, you got more truck traffic, things like that, so bigger truck parts. So Fleet Pride, Napa, well, Fleet Pride for me is still an hour, than it used to be. I used to drive past one every day pretty much. So it's cold though. I can't feel my hands right now. I gotta warm up a little bit. We really haven't got much done today, which is, well, calves are on the back. Hopefully they're still there. And I gotta take that fence down. That is the goal of that. Get the fence down. We did not clean up that pile. It's almost 3 something. Oh yeah, they're up and over there and hanging out. They're gonna, well, as long as it stays good, they're gonna be a little bit as far as cleaning things up in there. There's quite a bit of feed. So Quinn is back. Here's the airbag that blew out. Yeah, trucks are fun. Necessary evil, but yep. Good thing you showed up, master mechanic.
I had to tell him how to do it.
Nice shirt. Where'd you get that one from, huh?
Farming with Duffy Ag.
Lewis Farms. Let's see it. It'd be cooler if they had the 88 on it, though.
We gotta get our own sweatshirts made up. Me and you. No Duffy Ag. I'm gonna have to get my own.
Alrighty. Well, Quinn is leaving. He's hoping to make it home now. And yeah, 24 hours later, he's able to leave. So, alrighty, that is gonna do it for today because it's been quite the day. Not a lot of action for you guys. It's cold. We got Colburn, so we got to go do something. But appreciate you guys watching along, liking, subscribing, being part of the channel, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good one.